Welcome to another stage analysis video. It's Sunday the 7th of July 2024. Thought I'd start this weekend's video with a look at what's been going on with the major crypto coins before getting into the regular weekly content. As posted a chart about Bitcoin I think on Friday as it started to come down and test the stage 4 breakdown level. Started to see a pullback back through the level again, so it's at a possible spring point, or it could still break down into stage 4, so what we call a pivotal point at the moment. So you can see the level through here that it's testing currently. If we drop down to a daily chart, you can see this in a little bit more detail. You've got the 200-day moving average starting to curl over a little bit. It's been below that for 4 days now, so you can see the level from down here that it's been testing. So tested that on Friday and pulled right back into the line and rebounded over the weekend. So obviously weekend volume is very light. It's not major traders are away, but so Monday we could start to get some definitive action of whether this is going to spring or whether it's going to fall back down and roll over and start to form stage 4. So got a buying climax up here, automatic reaction, secondary test area. So it started to form a structure a while back through here. So this higher structure, it then had a shakeout move down through here and a test move back up again, but failed to get back to the highs again. Started to roll back over again, back through the 50-day moving average and rolling down. So we've now got what we call a major sign of weakness here at the stage 4 breakdown level, the first pivot below this 200-day moving average here. So as I said, looking for at this point here, so with the spring attempt underway, if it forms a higher low here, starts to pull back in above the 200-day moving average, we'd be looking for a sign of strength, jump back across the creek as they call it, and then push back out again towards new highs, and then pushing on in stage 2 once more. But on the other hand, if this fails at this point here, we can't get back over this 200-day moving average, or it's a weak move and rolls back over again quickly, and possibly a secondary entry area there on the short side, and could then start to fall down and start to make a new stage 4 decline. So at the moment, mental relative strength just breaking below the 0 line here, so the 52-week moving average of Bitcoin here divided by the S&P 500. We go back to the weekly chart, you can see that on the daily is slightly different. So the daily uses the 250-day, whereas the weekly uses the 52 weeks. So you do get a minor difference. It's slightly above the 0 line at the moment on the weekly chart. SATA score at the moment in what we call a neutral 4. So it did get down to a 3 as it was pushing down below. So typically you'll see with stage 4, you typically see scores of 3 or below. So on the breakdown level, you'd be looking for a red dot here as well, so a quarterly breakdown. So if it does move back below that, we'll get another one off the SART score, so it would dip down to a 3 and potentially lower at that point. But as we said, we're still hanging on here. Go all the way back to the start with Bitcoin of the stage 2 advance. It started to move back up into stage 2 back here, back on January the 16th week. Had the secondary entry points. It rebounded back in the backup zone in early stage 2. Did start to make an initial base through here. So short-term buying climax, automatic reaction, a secondary test area. So started to build a structure through here, and then made that continuation breakout back in October here, and it's had a very strong move since. So if we get up to the highs, another 137% move since then. So at the moment, we've had a recent buying climax. So you could either use this as the automatic reaction secondary test area, but I prefer to look for the bigger moves, as this was just a quick swing and not a change of behavior. So taking it to this area here, so automatic reaction secondary test area, start to draw the structure. This is the broader structure. We do have the earlier structure, which it has broken down below, so you can see the difference in this bar and this bar. So sign of weakness at the moment, back below the 30-week moving average just. So technically we're in stage 3 at the moment, but we're very close to potential stage 4 breakdown level here. So if it can spring, then it will still be in stage 3. We need to start to make some higher highs in the near term in order to recover back to stage 2 again. So If we move on, let's look at Ethereum as well, going back in time again. Let's get back to where it started to break out. So this was your potential stage 2 breakout area back in March, 13th week for Ethereum. The backup, so it was a much weaker backup. It did roll over, so you can see it did actually come back underneath here and was starting to get a bit shaky through this area in the summer, in the late summer period and into October, but then started to rebound back out again. Then we saw that new stage 2 breakout attempt back through this area here. So since then we've had another 100% move in this, but again in the short term, buying climax, automatic reaction, secondary test areas through here. So starting to build a structure again, testing the lower the structure this week. So you can see come off a little bit here, still below the 30-week moving average. Drop down to the daily chart again. You can see again 4 days below the 200-day moving average. We draw our pivot line across here, so it's tested it once. So at the moment, technically weak position. We need to see this start to recover back above the 200-day moving average and hold that and potentially push back towards the highs to potentially get back towards stage 2 again. So a long way to get back to there. So it's in Wyckoff spring position at the moment. So looking for a move back for the 200-day moving average on that front. But if it does start to break to the lower side here, we get a test to the downside and we start to break below this 2,800 area, then potentially could start to drop off into stage 4. So pivotal point for both Bitcoin and Ethereum at the moment, as they both test the lows of the developing stage 3 structures in both. We've started to score on a 4 for Bitcoin, which is a neutral score at the moment, so, and a 3 for Ethereum, which is slightly weaker at the moment, but neither as yet has had a weekly breakdown. So still in developing stage 3 at the moment, so still could recover, but obviously right on the borderline, so what we call a pivotal point here.